defender flow is one of my favorite flows to teach beginners because it's both really cool to perform and really easy to learn. You get to practice both the shield and the uppercut, two of the best upper body movements that you can possibly do with a mace. This flow is also great for increasing your functional strength, full body coordination, and definitely for getting your heart rate up. I'll show the fast version of the flow next, and then I'll break it down. Let's go. All right, you've seen the flow, now I'm gonna teach it to you and give some tips on how you can get the most out of it. To do this flow, we're gonna come together in warrior stance, both hands bottom of the mace. One hand will rise to the top of the mace, opposite leg steps out into a lateral lunge. From here, I'm gonna pull the mace in as I pivot, press into a shield. I'm now in a front lunge here. And then I'm going to switch my top hand of the mace. Pinky is gonna be pointing up. I'm gonna drop the mace to my same side shoulder, in this case my right shoulder, and then down to my right hip, and then uppercut across my body. And from here, I'm just gonna push back to that lateral lunge, and then do a modified prayer switch to the other side. Same thing, so I'll pivot as I pull in, shield. Switch my top hand, pinky up, drop it to the shoulder, drop it to the hip, uppercut, and then back to the front. Now, real quick so you can see from behind what that looks like as I drop it back. So you have the shield, switch that top hand with the pinky up, drop it to the same side shoulder, same side hip, uppercut. And that is the basic defender flow. Now I'm gonna give you some tips on how to improve this and make it better for you and your workouts. The number one way to get more out of this flow is to add in a secret ingredient: tension. And in Mace Flow, there are two places we can primarily add tension. The first, as you probably guessed, is between my feet. So when I'm in any kind of a lunge, whether it's a lateral lunge, or I'm in that pivot into the front lunge that we do in the defender flow, you have the opportunity to add tension between your legs. So the most obvious form of this, it's the most easy to understand, is to be crunching my feet towards one another, activating through my inner line, like I'm trying to squeeze the floor together. Another one, I like doing this one in a front lunge, is rip. So I'm going to be trying to push my feet apart and actually extend that way. You can do any number of different kinds, but the thing that's gonna help you get the most out of your leg component of this flow is gonna be getting low in your lunge and adding some tension either together or ripping apart. So that's the first place. Second place you're gonna add tension, you guessed it, is the mace. You can do a lot with this one. In this particular flow, my personal favorite is trying to crush the mace together. Same thing as the legs, especially when I'm in this shield position. I really like to try to bring my top hand and my bottom hand together and add tension that way. You're gonna notice so much more activation and it's gonna get a lot harder. You can also try to rip apart, and you can also, with the mace, twist. So the hands are gonna be twisting in opposite directions, and that is just gonna give you a lot more juice from it. Also, with the uppercut, same thing, you have that same opportunity. Add tension. If you want a little more chest activation, try to crush the mace together. If you want a little more back activation, try to spread it apart as much as you can. So those are a couple tips on how to get more out of this particular flow. And next, I'm gonna share a tip with you on how to do this flow with a heavy mace. When performing the defender flow with a heavy mace, there's only one key thing to keep in mind. Because there is so much more weight at one end of the mace, it is going to try to pull you off balance whenever it possibly can. The key points that I notice this are when the mace is highest. So when it is up in the shield position, I have to drop it down, around, and up. That's one point. And then when I'm actually going through the prayer switch can be the other time that it'll try to pull you off balance. Basically, when the mace is going to be moving the most, that's when it's going to try to pull you off balance. The key is to drop lower into your stance and be a little bit more rooted through with your strong core and that active tension that I was talking about in the previous part of the video. So that is the defender flow. Give it a shot and enjoy. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel if you want to level up your mace skills fast, and I'll see you on the next Flow Made Simple video. Peace.